In this video, we're watching Dwelling on It, Joel Osteen, Lakewood Church.
You can't stop the noise from coming, but you can turn the noise down. Be selective in what you give your time and attention to. Don't leave the news on at the house in the background all through the day, or even drive to and from work with that constantly going into you. That's creating the wrong atmosphere. How much noise are you allowing from what coworkers are saying about you, or dwelling on the medical report, worried about your finances? All that noise is draining your energy, taking your creativity and stealing your joy. How much more peaceful would you be? How much happier would you live if you start turning down the noise? Not eliminating it. That's not possible. You're never going to stop people from talking about you. Just quit dwelling on it. They don't control your destiny. What they say can't stop your purpose. God is your vindicator. He's fighting your battles. That noise is a distraction to try to get you off course, live worried and upset. One of the most important things you have is your time. What you give your attention to is incredibly valuable. If the enemy can keep you distracted and focused on things that don't matter, cluttered by the noise, then he can keep you from your destiny. And the scripture says to be aware of the enemy's schemes and strategies. The noise is a strategy to steal your time, get you worried, frustrated, fighting battles that don't matter. No, you have a destiny to fulfill. There's a calling on your life, an assignment to accomplish. And there's nothing more the enemy would love than for you to waste your time being distracted by the noise, frustrated over things you can't change, responding to people that are not a part of your destiny, letting the negative chatter keep you worried and upset.
You don't need a second job. You just need to learn how to talk to AI.
Let's be real. Most people over 40 use.
Why don't you turn down the noise? You have to keep your mind stayed on Him, not stayed on the news, not stayed on what your critics said, stayed on social media, stayed on that relative's drama. Turn that noise down and you'll have the peace, the joy, the favor to become who you were created to be. When I get in on an airplane, I have some noise-canceling headphones that I always wear. And what's interesting is they don't stop the noise. The rumble of the engine is still there. The flight attendants on the loudspeaker, other passengers talking, watching movies, still loud and noisy. These headphones simply turn down the noise in my mind. It's not as loud to me. You need some imaginary noise-canceling headphones to go through life, because there's going to be chatter, gossip, controversy, people talking, bad reports. You can't eliminate all that. But when you have your mind stayed on Him, it's like you have those noise-canceling headphones on. Even though it's loud all around you, you're at peace. You know God's in control. You know He's fighting your battles. So you're calm in the chaos. You're at rest even when it's noisy. But the mistake we make often is we try to stop the noise, stop this person from saying things, and stop this issue. But you'll never be able to stop all the noise. You can't make people do what's right and correct every problem. You have to learn to turn the noise down. Don't let that get in your spirit. A good friend of mine is very positive and upbeat, but several years ago, I could tell he was starting to change. Like he was bothered by something. He was more serious and seemed worried. He told me later how he was so concerned about our country and things going on that he didn't like. He became consumed watching the news, and responding on social media, and debating with people. He was so wrought up and distraught by it all, he got to where he couldn't sleep at night. Started having digestive problems. His relationships were strained. All that divisiveness and bitterness began to poison him on the inside. And it's good to pray, be passionate, do what we can, but he was trying to stop the noise, get people to change their opinions, He wasn't going to be happy unless everyone agreed with him. But you can't control what people do. Do your part and then turn it over to God. And he finally got so frustrated, he made the decision to stop watching the news. Within a few weeks, he started sleeping soundly again. All that insomnia went away. He'd been dealing with terrible anxiety, and that went away too. Today, he's back to his normal self, happy, fun to be around. It makes a difference what you're allowing in. If you let noise clutter your mind, negative news, worry, divisiveness, it's not only going to take your joy, but it's going to affect you physically. Stress, frustration, that's weakening our immune system where it doesn't fight off disease like it should. Noise comes to us all in different ways. Maybe people that are not for you, worried about your finances, something you're watching that's not doing any good. It's just things to get you stirred up, drama, controversy, opinions. That noise is keeping you from enjoying your family, pursuing your dreams. If you're going to stay in peace, you have to be on the offensive. It's not going to happen by accident. We're living in a day where the noise has been turned up louder than ever. There's never been a time where it's been so divisive, so many distractions, so much competing for our attention. Since the noise has been turned up, we have to become experts at turning down the noise, tuning out the chatter, not dwelling on the drama. You have the volume control. You get to choose what you allow in your mind. Sometimes I'll get a call on my cell phone and I look at the screen and it says potential spam. I don't think twice. I don't need any more noise in my life. I have enough people to take care of. I have enough challenges to overcome, enough dreams to accomplish. Any chance I have, I'm going to turn down the noise. I value my time. We should feel responsible for what God has given us. Each day is a gift. We are told to make the most of our time. You can't be your best with a bunch of noise cluttering your thinking, clouding your vision. And some of the things we're allowing in our mind is like spam. It's serving no purpose. It's a distraction. That person trying to get you upset, a coworker gossiping, listening to the news, driving home, making you irritable, laying in bed, worrying about that child over and over. That's noise. Trying to get you anxious, confused, overwhelmed. Like you do on your phone, when you see that word spam, you need to hit the end button. No thanks, I don't have time for noise. I don't have time to be distracted. I have a destiny to fulfill. See, so much is fighting for your attention today. It's because peace is power. When you're in peace, you're more creative. When you're peaceful, you make better decisions. When your mind is not cluttered, you can hear from God. Many times He's speaking, but it's so noisy, so loud with news, drama, and worry, we can't hear Him. He speaks in a still, small voice. One translation says, a whisper. If you're going to hear a whisper, you have to get quiet. If you're going to stay on the best path for your life, you have to clear out the things that are distracting and bringing frustration and worry. It may mean spending less time with certain people. Some people are peace stealers. No offense, but they're noisy. They always have a problem. There's some kind of drama. They'll try to draw you in. You have enough drama in your own life, you don't need their drama. And just because they call doesn't mean you have to answer. Sometimes it's not the right time. You don't have the emotional energy to deal with it. You have to protect your peace. Keep yourself emotionally healthy. Well, Joel, that wouldn't be right. If I don't answer, they may get upset. Usually the noisiest people make the most withdrawals, but they make the least deposits. They expect you to always come running. Keep them fixed, solve their problem, cheer them up. But when you need something, they're not around. Don't take on a false sense of responsibility. You are not responsible for their happiness. Every person is responsible for their own happiness. Be selective with whom you're spending time, who you're allowing to get close to you. Are they adding value, making you better, or are they just adding noise, drama, confusion? That's a distraction. And always be kind, be respectful, but don't let them control you. Don't let them dump their problems, expect you to fix them. If you don't take charge, all this noise will clutter your life and keep you from your purpose.
That was Dwelling on It, Joel Osteen.